Hey everybody, it's Taylor with Boydston Grove, and today, with the help of our XTOOL S1, we're gonna make a one-of-a-kind gift for a US veteran. Let's get into it.
This is gonna be awesome.
This video is sponsored by XTOOL. Now, I've been wanting to try my hand at one of these wooden wavy flags for quite some time now, but I didn't want to make just what everybody else is making. I wanted to find a way to kick mine up a notch.
He's taking it to a whole other level.
And that's where the S1 comes into play. Once I've built the main flag, I can use the S1 to customize it and make it one of a kind. Let's get started. Typically these flags are made out of a slab of laminated boards, but I just so happen to already have a slab that I pulled off an old piece of furniture, and that should work out just fine. To get the American flag proportions correct, I used a flag calculator that I found online. I know that I want my stripes to be about 1 inch wide, which will make my flag 13 inches tall. And according to the calculator, that means my length should be around 24.88 inches long. Well, thereabouts. I marked out some general areas for the waves and used a carving disc in my angle grinder to carve them out. This disc is made by Graph and it only cost me like $19 on Amazon. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Once I was happy with the waves, I used my orbital sander to refine them and smooth the whole thing out. Next step was to torch the wood using my Burns-O-Matic Firepoint Creator's torch. Then it was back to sanding to lighten the scorching up a bit. I used some blue painter's tape to mark off the stripes, starting with the white ones, and used some semi-transparent stain to color them in. Once that was dry, I switched the tape to the red stripes and used some craft paint to fill them in. I used a cloth and treated it like a stain so I could still get the wood grain to show through, doing the same thing with the blue. I used the XTOOL S1 to cut the union out of some label paper, stuck it on the flag, and used some craft paint to fill in the stars. That actually worked out really great.
It's a great idea.
With the flag complete, I decided to make a frame for it to sit in. I cut down some strips of wood that came from the same piece of furniture where I got the panel for the flag. My idea was to build a frame within a frame, slightly bigger than the flag itself, so that I would have a small reveal all the way around the flag. After the frame was puttied, dry, and sanded, I stained it with some colored stain. This stain has a lot of pigment in it, which will help make the mismatched scrap wood frame look a lot more cohesive. Once the stain was dry, I clamped the flag onto the frame and screwed it in place. Okay, so far I love how this is coming out, but now it's time to personalize it using the XTOOL S1. I want to add the US Marines logo on the front of the flag, and I figured it would be really cool to make it out of different layers of acrylic. After loading the logo into the XCS software, I was able to use the software to trace out each piece, separate them, and cut them out of different pieces of acrylic. Because of all the detail that is in the center of the logo, I decided to engrave it onto a piece of some 3mm basswood so I could hand paint the different areas. I started by attaching the main back piece directly to the flag in a few spots that I knew would be covered later on. Then I assembled the rest of the logo using super glue and activator, being extra careful to not have any visible squeeze out. I made sure to save the cutout from the letter so I could use it as a template to get the lettering positioned properly. Alright, our wooden wavy American flag is finished, and I gotta say, I am so thrilled with how this came out. I was a little apprehensive to put nice shiny acrylic on top of this rustic looking flag, but I think painting the centerpiece really brought it all together and made it one cohesive piece. Now, one issue I had is the only yellow acrylic I had is this semi-transparent stuff, and you could see every spot that I did and didn't glue. So what I did to fix that is I just went over the ring with a couple coats of acrylic paint, and I think it came out okay. Now, another thing I struggled with was the emblem, because there are so many variations. So if you are a veteran yourself or are currently serving, let me know in the comments below if I got it right. A big shout out and thank you to XTOOL for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out the S1 that we use for this project or any of their other products, just hit the links below. I know I'm thrilled with this project, but let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you very much for watching, be safe, and have a great day.